Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MCM game stage. That's what we... Whoa! There we go. A bit of enthusiasm. I like it. We have two very special guests this afternoon joining us on the stage. I have dubbed them the Posh and Becks of video game voice actors. So can we welcome onto the stage Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey. Can you tell they're actors?
Oh, hello.
Hi, take a seat.
Oh, man. Right.
Welcome.
Oh, look at that. That's adorable.
Are you choking me?
No, I'm choking a goon.
Oh, look, Street Fighter. How
So that's
sexy.
a great shot as well, right?
That's me on the left. That's Laura on the right.
Do you ever switch roles?
Yes, I play Chun Li.
Right here, I'm stupid.
Laura plays.
Guile.
That's your Guile voice, right? Say Sonic Boom.
That's also my Superman voice and my Hulk voice.
I still think that's
and
me. I still think
Kid
you're
Trunks.
choking me. That's me going, no, please don't choke me.
So can you switch lines? So can you do the Sonic Boom?
Oh, yeah, I definitely do Sonic Boom. No, I don't do Sonic Boom.
No, I mean in the voice, maybe?
Sonic? No.
That
That's gonna
sounds
sound
like
like
Shin
Shin.
Chan.
And I guess you have to do...
Sonic Boom!
So then you have to do what? Spinning bird kick, right?
Yeah.
Spinning bird kick! There you go.
He
that's
actually
pretty
sounded kind
That
of
was
like me.
crap,
That's
right?
kind of creepy.
That was pretty bad.
So, I did dub you the Posh and Becks of video game actors.
Yes.
I'm not sure how you feel about that.
Yeah. Oh,
I love it.
We love it.
Yeah.
I wish I had the shirtless wonder of Beckham with the tattoos and the amazing abs, which I totally have.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And could kick a soccer ball that well.
I wish that too.
Can you dance and sing as well as what?
What? I wish that I looked as amazing in clothing as she does.
Have I created a
And
kind
as
of...
amazing naked, I'm sure, but in clothing as well. Yeah.
Are we talking about being naked all of a sudden? This accelerated quickly. Jeez.
So I've got to ask, did you two guys meet doing voice acting? Was that where you met?
Yeah.
No.
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 We're married. We totally know how we met each other.
Doesn't
You can
even
tell.
know. We met when we were both studying in school.
Wow.
Yeah, we were with the same talent agent, and we ended up getting booked together as extras on some random independent. Was it a film or a TV? I don't even remember.
It was
what
like an industrial, and we were customers in a restaurant that had
Yeah.
to pretend like we were having a conversation.
But so we sat at the same table with each other for like 8 hours, but we never actually talked because when you're an extra, you can't actually talk. You just have to look like you're talking. So we
Kind of looks like this. It's amazing.
8 hours. Look
8
at that.
hours. 8 hours. The other person that you're looking at the end of the day, you're like, I'm gonna kill you with honey. And I love rabbits. And giraffes are neat. They can fly. You're just saying all the weirdest things you've ever heard.
That's so funny. It's not.
It's not at all. Kill me.
So your first jobs then, because you've done a lot of games together as well, right? Different roles, like Street Fighter, for example, etc. I mean, how does that work? Do you still have the same agent now? Do you get booked together? Because you're doing Lego Batman 3, you did
weird.
Shadow Mordor,
Yeah.
Right,
When
infamous.
when we were in Texas, we had the same agent, and then I moved out to California first, a few years before Laura did. Obviously, I wooed her as soon as she came to California, and we finally joined our agents up again many years later.
Mm-hmm.
But most of these projects that we work on, we're not like a package deal. We don't, if one of us is in it, the other one doesn't automatically get in. We have to audition separately. I auditioned for Superman one day. She auditioned for Wonder Woman and,
Yeah.
and all those characters
Sometimes
another
they
day.
don't even know that we're married when we go in and audition for things.
Yeah,
They
we'll
just-
show up and we hug and give each other a kiss, and they're like, oh, you two
What?
are friendly.
Wait, what's happening here?
Like, oh, it's California. It's free love. Everybody gets a kiss and a hug. And you get fancy wedding rings. Yeah, so and there are times, we kind of joked about it earlier this morning. We work on not just video games and anime together, but we've done a lot of Mocap projects where we're in the same game. And we're not always the romantic interests.
Yeah.
For instance, in Infamous Second Son, Laura plays a love interest of the main character, Delson, which is my best friend, Troy Baker, so they had to be all lovey-dovey, which is totally awesome.
Awkward.
And then in the DLC for that game, where she plays Fetch again, I ended up playing the villain Shane.
Yeah.
So I just got to make her as annoyed at me as possible all
Yeah.
day long, which was great because I know I'm doing a really good job when they yell cut and she's just staring at me like this. Like,
I gave him a lot of evil looks during that game.
are you okay?
I'm turning, because I feel bad. I'm turning my back to all of you guys.
She's
And
like, I
that's
just don't like your
rude.
character. I don't like you.
I don't like you.
So you're quite friendly with Troy. I mean, you guys know each other fairly well. I mean, is the voice actor circuit like that in video games? Does everybody know each other? And
Yeah. It's a close circle.
Pretty much, yeah. You know, we had the panel this morning with DC and Robin, and, you know, we know both of them.
We work on different games. You'll see them when one session ends. You know, you might be right behind them. You give them a high five. You know.
And a lot of the people that do video game voice acting also do the cartoon animation. And in cartoons, you know, we get to record in groups most of the time. So you get to
Yeah.
know your castmates really well. So
That's kind of the main difference. Is in video games, a lot of the time, with some small exceptions,
Right.
you're usually by yourself, and you'll hear what someone has recorded before. Or maybe you're the first one, so you don't hear anything. But in cartoons, at least, we do it radio play style, which is, you know, 4 or 6, or if it's really crazy, like 9 people in a room.
like Lego Batman, we did a big group recording session for that. It was
Yeah.
like 13 people in the room.
Lego Batman was
Insane.
the biggest group record I've ever seen. 13 people in there acting like a bunch of lunatics
Yeah.
with superpowers.
So I posed this question. So this question goes back many years. When I spoke to Nolan North originally, it was a few years ago. He was doing all the voice acting for video games. So I said, if there was a Nolan North video game, who would voice you? So he said Troy Baker.
Of course.
So the next time I met Troy, I asked him the same question. If there was a Troy Baker video game, who would voice you? He said, you, Laura. So I'm going to pose this question to you now. I'm working my way around the circuit and seeing where we get to this. If there was a Laura Bailey, the video game, who would play you?
Oh, man.
No pressure.
No pressure. I was going to say Jen Hale.
That's a good shout.
Yeah,
Jennifer
she's
Hale.
so cool. Yeah.
You just said that because you want Commander Shepard
I
to be
basically
your...
want to have Commander Shepard's voice all the time.
So Travis, and I've got to ask you the same question then. If there was a video game, who would voice you?
Probably somebody really handsome like Brad Pitt, you know, or Matt Damon. I mean, they would all want...
Voice actor.
They would
playing
all
voice
want
actor.
the part, but I don't know. Oh, voice actor, right. Maybe Matt Mercer?
Ooh, Matt
Or,
Mercer's a
or
good-
Patrick Seitz.
Patrick Seitz.
Patrick Seitz.
Since they sound so similar.
That would be it. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of those
Okay,
two.
so when I interview them, I'm going to ask them the same question, and eventually it's going to come full
It's just
circle.
gonna, yeah,
Nolan
dovetail
North.
around.
And then
I
I'm
should
gonna
have said
keep on
Nolan, and I would have closed the
Yeah,
circle.
that's right. Now you can leave it open.
But we want to make it big.
So you've played hundreds of different roles in video games. I'll start with you, Travis. Do you have a favorite? Who's the one that you really love to play?
Oh man, you know, we've been lucky enough to take over the characters of a Black Widow and Thor in Avengers Assemble for Marvel, and we've started to play them. I think we're on our 4th year. I think.
Of playing them?
Yeah, playing those characters, and it's amazing when you get to play the Asgardian king, you know, the Prince of Asgard, who has his mighty hammer Mjolnir, and you know says, you know, for Odin, for Asgard, and you know like declares all these big things, and we. It's kind of fun because Fred Tatasciore is the voice of the Hulk, and he's been playing the Hulk for 8 years, 10 years. Nobody sounds quite like Fred does, so we have a competition in the room to see who can be the loudest. So while he's like "Brah, brah," smashing as the Hulk, I'm going, "No, you foul beast, take a shower!" Just you know, like just trying to be as ridiculous as possible.
So is that your answer? Thor is your favorite? Did you get distracted from your question?
I'm saying Thor.
All right.
Thor's my favorite.
He's not even your video game characters.
Lego
What's
Marvel
happening
superheroes.
here? Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. You're right.
It's right.
I am going to go with Fetch from Infamous.
Okay.
Because she looks like me.
What about Sarah from Final Fantasy?
Sarah's awesome, but Fetch looks like me.
That's true.
I mean, she's on the cover of a game, and it looks like me. That's pretty freaking
is
cool.
true, yeah.
I mean, and she's got superpowers, and she's totally awesome. So win all around.
That's right. That's right.
So you mentioned Sarah. What would she like to play? Because the Final Fantasy community were very split on her. Did you get any of that kind
I
of...
know. So I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I played X and X2 when I lived with my sister, and I played the game, and she sat on the couch and watched me play the game for like 12 hours, however long it took to play it. I loved it so much. And so when I got cast as Sarah, I flipped out and was so ecstatic. And then I found out I wasn't actually one of the team members. And then I was like, "Aw, that sucks." But she's cool. And then they were like, "We're making a sequel, and it's going to have Sarah as a lead, and that's amazing." And then she's not quite as tough as I would have liked her to be, but she's such an amazing character. Spoilers. When I got to the script and nobody told me what happens to Sarah until I got to the studio that day and I was flipping through the script and I was like, supposed to be recording some lines, but I was looking forward in the script and I read the part where she doesn't make it and I was just devastated. I started crying in the booth and Jack's like, "What are you doing?" Jack is the director. He's like, "Don't read ahead. I didn't tell you that part yet." I was so sad.
So you also, any Persona fans here? Loads.
Yeah.
And you also played Risa Kujikawa.
Oh, yeah.
She must have been a fun role to play, right? She's always very bubbly.
And
just
ongoing, yeah. And she sings, which is always a fun thing
Was
to
that
get
you
to do.
singing?
That is me singing.
Oh, wow.
In English, not in Japanese.
You can't
Hey,
sing
guys,
in Japanese?
I can't sing in Japanese.
You
Just
do
letting
realise
you know.
someone's going to ask you to sing later on, right?
Right.
I say someone. So, Travis, you played tons of different superheroes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could be a superhero, who would you be and why?
So it's going to be cheesy because it is, Superman's on the screen. But I would say Superman because invincibility, they always ask the question, like, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? I'm picking invincibility because you would just go to the top of really tall things, jump off, and go on the ground, and people are like, "Oh, no," and then you pop up, and you're like, "What's up?" People say flying, but all it takes is one, instance of drunk flying, and you crash, and you're not invincible. You're dead. You want to be invincible.
Laura, what about you? If you had to have any superpower?
Oh no. I like the power where
You're going to cheat, aren't you?
Where you touch somebody and you absorb their power.
Rogue. She wants to be rogue.
I do. Rogue is like one of my favorite superheroes.
So she would take my invincibility. Do I get to
Yes.
keep mine, or do you take it?
Yeah. You would gain it back, just like Wolverine. You're fine.
Do you have one at a time, or do you absorb them all and have all of the powers?
One at a time. Let's make it fair.
That's fair. So you guys, it's fair to say you've been doing this a long time, right? Have you seen the industry change much since you started many years ago?
Yeah, I mean, the MMOs and the MMOs are the ones that we've seen the most. We work on League of Legends and some of these larger franchises.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. What else? Diablo
Star
3.
Wars. The Old Republic.
And we've seen Japanese licensed titles: Tales of Xillia, Tales of Grace,
Vesperia.
Tales of
Tale.
Cheese.
Tales of
There's all sorts of
Graces.
tales. I can't keep track of all of them. But when we first started, I think it was still in the PlayStation 2 era, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and the narrative that you see in the games is has just increased
It's
so
grown
much.
so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what Blood Rain was when that was the first game I ever did, and the amount of recording we do. I mean, I think I finished Blood Rain in like 4 sessions, maybe. Even that, and now just there's so much dialogue and so much story to be told in video games, and you get so wrapped up in the characters now. And I think people are really understanding that it's a new form of media where people can just fall in love with it and experience things through it. Yeah. I mean, it's not new, but
Well, video games now, instead of just a few sessions or a few months, we work on them for a year and a half,
Yeah.
2 years. It takes we finished Shadow of Mordor in a year and a half. You recorded the whole game first, and then they decided they wanted to do mocap. And
yeah, we had recorded that game
is
as
anyone
just
playing Shadow of Mordor?
anybody.
Oh, you
It's
gotta
so
go
awesome.
get it.
You have to play it.
Slaying orcs for hours. You don't even play the missions. I mean, the missions are cool. You just walk around killing orcs.
This is his first time experiencing a game like this. Like those are the kind of games I love, like Dragon Age,
amazing.
Mass Effect,
amazing.
Skyrim. I love games where you really develop a character. And it's his first time doing like an
I'm a
RPG sort
newbie.
of thing. He's like, "Look at this! You can customize your weapon." I'm like,
Okay. It's not
Wow.
It's not crazy RPG, but yeah.
So Troy said his first experience was voice acting. He recorded something in this tiny little trailer. Do you both have similar experiences, or?
No, Troy's is especially weird.
Yeah, his was bizarre. Your first
He did
video.
car commercials first, I think.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah, that
all
kind of thing.
stuff.
No, I started, Dragon Ball Z was the first thing I ever did. And I was still in school. I just had graduated high school.
Dragon Ball Z fans?
Eh?
Me too. Me too. I'm married to Trunks.
That's creepy.
It is weird.
That is really creepy. Yeah, and I had just, I was doing a local play, and Funimation was auditioning, and I just went and auditioned, and so Kid Trunks was the first voice acting I ever did.
Yeah, same for me. I hassled
Kid
her.
Trunks was the first voice acting you ever
I
did?
hassled her for like 2 or 3 years to get me an audition at Funimation. And she never did it, which is totally awesome to this day. And Full Metal Alchemist was the first lead character that I auditioned for, which was Roy Mustang. And I really wanted him to be Super Saiyan Roy Mustang. The show didn't quite go that way. I was the Flame Alchemist instead, which was still fine.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you've both done a lot of work with Western studios and Japanese studios. How does the process differ, or does it differ at all?
It does differ,
A lot.
for sure. Usually, at least Western games now, as they're progressing, you really get involved in on the ground level. Like Infamous, when we got cast, you know, we got to go over the story with them and really develop our characters from the ground up. And a lot of times with, you know, Japanese games, you're coming in after the game's already been mostly developed. So a lot of times you don't get as much backstory even on your character. You might go in and the lines are set up in an Excel spreadsheet, and you might not even see the other character's dialogue around yours, and you just have to trust your director and go down the page and hope it's making sense, because sometimes you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's a lot of dubbing in Japanese games where you're replacing the Japanese dialogue, and at least in Western games, you're the first one to do so, so it's backwards. Yeah.
Right.
What's the most bizarre video game character you have ever voiced?
I know there's a good one.
I know. There's so many weird things.
I played like a gluttonous blob of human scar tissue in Resident Evil.
Gross.
I was just like,
Don't swallow the mic. He totally was like swallowing the mic just then. That was so gross. So one of my very first video games was Deus Ex: The Invisible War. I think that was right after I recorded Blood Rain. But so I had this weird thing, okay? When I sometimes when I'm recording, because you're using your diaphragm so much, my stomach starts making this really, really, really awkward sound. Really weird sound. I'm seeing if it's doing it right now, but it's not. So it starts making this like blah, 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 every time I breathe, and I have to like really tense up my stomach so it doesn't make the noise on the mic and like nobody can hear it. But in that session, they had these little slug creatures that you would fight, and you could battle them together. And so my stomach started making that noise, and I actually recorded the stomach. I got the mic like right here.
oh yeah, you recorded
And
your
recorded the
stomach?
sound, and they use it as the slug creatures in the game. It's a really disgusting sound.
There was a DS game, I'm remembering now, like one of the first games I did in California, a DS game called, I think it's The World Is Not Enough. And all they told me was that I was a...
I really like The World Is Not Enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's played that?
No, there was
Oh.
cheering, that's all.
All they told me was that it was a cook in a kitchen that was fighting. So all of his lines were kitchen-based fighting lines, like, "It's getting hot in here. The stove is on. Let's bring the kettle to boil." It was so stupid.
I wanted to see if my stomach will make the noise.
Go.
Could you hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Doing it, but it's not.
You're wearing a giant sweater.
No fear, touch my stomach. No. It does it, it's gross.
Whenever I find out who the voice actors on this stage are, I always crawl through the IMDb page. And you did random pedestrians in Grand Theft Auto 5.
I did. I was in Grand Theft Auto 5. If you, and I think I am specifically security forces. So when you start doing things you're not supposed to in Grand Theft Auto 5, after you achieve 2 stars, I'm trying to think how many security forces they recorded. There's a 1 in 6 chance that I'm going to come in on the side of an SUV and start cursing at you. If you've ever done it, I'm saying things like, "We need to have a little chat," and "Pull the car over now," and all this stuff. And there's a lot of expletives and cursing that we won't do. But yeah, and the thing is that when we were brought in for that game, they wouldn't tell us what it was. They go, "Oh, it's a large open world game and people commit acts of crime," and then all of a sudden you have to come out and yell at them. And I'm like, "Yeah, we don't sound like we're being very serious though." He goes, "Oh, it's pretty funny." Got Grand Theft Auto 5, game 1. I start driving around, jacking people's cars, and all of a sudden I hear myself yelling at me. I'm like, "Oh, I'm in this game!"
We don't even know.
No
They don't tell
idea.
us.
Because they make us sign these NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, so we can't talk about that. Like, we have like 4 or 5 games that we're working on right now. They're huge. We would love to
really
tell you about
awesome.
them, but they won't
That
let
we're
us.
so excited about.
And so we don't even know until the game comes out sometimes which games we're working on.
Like sometimes people have come up to have me sign like covers of DVDs or covers of games, and I go, "Oh, I'm not in that," and they go, "Yes, you are."
Yeah,
I had no idea. I
this
just
is
had
you
no
right
idea
here.
it was me.
We're like, "No, that's not." Oh, that.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
So when we announced it on our sites, we put obviously a few roles that each of you had done, and I got berated for not mentioning Blood Rain. You played Rain, obviously. I mean, that must have been an interesting role to jump into.
Yeah, especially since it was my first video game. I had no idea what I was doing. It's crazy to go back and listen to the dialogue now because I'm like, oh, it's so terrible. I hate the way it's the same as Trunks. If I go back and listen to Trunks, it's just painful.
Trunks is awesome.
But it's hard to go back and hear because I was, I don't want to say how many years ago that was, but that was a lot of years ago. So yeah, it was crazy. I didn't even know how to make like noises. I remember when we were doing like the sound effects for like when she's like sucking blood. I was like, "Do I like suck my arm? What do I do?" So yeah,
What did you do as a vampire?
I sucked my arm. I sucked my arm on the mic and gave myself a hickey in order to make the sound.
You two do both a lot of fighting games as well. Yeah, BlazBlue, Street Fighter 4, Persona 4, Arena Ultimax,
Dead or Alive?
Dead or Alive, Tekken as well, right?
Not Tekken.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Soul
I was in
Calibur.
on-
Versus Street Fighter.
Yes, that too.
Tekken versus Street Fighter.
So that must be quite awkward to do all the grunts and the
Oh
screams.
man,
And the,
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys know how they record all the fighting reactions for your favorite fighting games? Does anybody know? Raise a hand. It's the dumbest, strangest thing ever. They'll be like, "All right, we're gonna call these small impact grunts," which means somebody's like hitting you, but it doesn't hurt too much. So you're like,
That's just grazing off your arm.
medium impact grunts,
That's somebody punching you in the gut, maybe like moving your face,
maximum impact grunts.
getting thrown back, axe to the head.
And you do this for hours.
Yeah.
Not only that, they'll have you do small punches, medium punches, big punches.
And in games where they were made in Japan, like the Dragon Ball Z fighting
Oh,
games
man.
and Street Fighter, almost all of the fighting games really, you have to match time code because it's already been written, the code. And so whatever file the Japanese voice actor, the length of that, you have to match that. So if they made a noise that's like, you have to make sure your is just as short as that one. Or sometimes they'll write dialogue and your line will be, "Take that, punk." And you'll hear the file and it's like, "Hada!" And you're like, "Oh crap, how do I say that fast?"
Nani?
Yeah.
Soka. You're like, "Oh, this is never going
man,
to
I
work."
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an American fight reaction is like, but when you get into Japan, they're like, "Surya!"
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, okay, I
Oh
don't
man,
even."
what do I do?
Why are there 4 consonants in this fighting attack?
do you make it a point to go back and play the games that you've been in, or do you avoid them?
I don't avoid them.
We
No.
try to. We
Yeah.
suck at them, some of them.
Some of them. But
Street Fighter, we're terrible.
yeah, we're terrible at Street Fighter. But
Ugh.
games like Saints Row, oh man, I played Saints Row. I love that game. Making a character that sounds like me and kind of looks like me, I made a character that looks like me. And just going around town and beating people up and looking like a total awesome. I loved it. I loved
Oh.
it. Jumping out of a freaking helicopter, landing on a roof. I thought I was the coolest thing ever.
It was kind of sadistic in our house because she would be in her room playing, and all I could hear was her laughing maniacally
yeah, I
while
would
she
start laughing
She's
when
like, "I just killed somebody with a dubstep gun." Like, Like, you did what with the what?
Don't
and the
worry
who?
about it. It's amazing.
The day we got Street Fighter, we were both like, we're throwing down today, you and me, Guile versus Chun Li. We put it on, and we looked like a bunch of blind chickens, like trying to jump around, jumping over each other, completely missing.
Just not even on the same, completely against separate walls, just kicking.
We're like, we'll practice. We'll play the story mode. And I don't think we got past
Terrible.
the third person. It was terrible. We were better at Mortal Kombat back in the day, but apparently we've lost our skills.
It did not translate. I played Skyrim and had myself as a companion on that one too.
Okay.
Serana, did anybody play Skyrim? Nice. Who has me as a companion? Serana, come on. She's the best. You need her.
Aren't you a vampire? or
She's the
something?
coolest. She's another vampire, yes.
Oh.
Do you play together then? Because you said you're in the room laughing at yourself. Do you have a gaming room? Well, do you,
Let me tell you about our gaming house. So the reason I married this woman is because you typically hear about guys that play video games too much and their girlfriends are like, stop playing, pay attention to me or something. I'll come home and this is what I'll see. Hi. I'm like, I love you, keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna leave you alone. We have two separate rooms because
Yeah.
I'm much more of like a first-person shooter, Arkham Origins,
Call of
Arkham Asylum,
Duty.
Call of Duty type player.
Although we
She's-
do both play Call of Duty. We play that together.
That's true, but she's much more of an RPGer, so in the Mass Effects, the Skyrims, the Dragon Ages, stuff like that. So we have two separate rooms of,
Diablo. I've been
geekdom.
playing Diablo 3 a lot. That's fun.
we have our separate dork rooms.
Yeah.
Yep. And when it's loud, we don't bother each other. Except
My-
to eat.
My room also has all my crafting goodness. I love to sew and do all those sorts of things.
sounds like a good room.
She makes quilts.
I do. I make quilts.
video games, quilts, voice acting, anything else?
I know. It's a weird mix.
Oh.
I work on video games and I make quilts.
So Travis, you must have a bizarre hobby then. I didn't say that crafting was bizarre, but the collection of them all together. Have you got any?
Yes, I sculpt marble sculptures with a chisel.
No, he does triathlons.
I do.
Really?
I do. I try lots.
Wow.
It's yeah. I mean, you got to work out somehow, so I figure you might as well run, bike, and swim, which is a weird kind of extreme, but it's fun. I promise you, it's fun. People are like, that sounds terrible. It's fun. Does anybody else do triathlons? That's a no.
So, if out of all the video game characters like in history, if you could play one, who would you play and why?
Wait. Say that again.
All
History
video
of
game history.
games.
All video game history ever.
Ever.
And we
Uh,
choose one character?
Like you could be
Only one
Mario,
character.
you could be Link, you
Jeez
could be.
Louise.
No pressure.
What?
I would be Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Because no one would ever beat me.
Oh my God. Space Channel 5. Do you guys remember that game? I want to be her.
Okay, so if you had to play a duo, both
duo.
of you voicing a duo, so Mario, Luigi, someone like that.
Hey, would you be Luigi if I was Mario?
No.
No, I would love to be Luigi.
I'd be like Princess Peach or something, wouldn't I?
Princess, I'll be Toadstool if you're Princess Peach.
Can we be Link and Zelda?
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Barf. What about if you were like, you could be, what's the Tomb Raider? Laura Croft, and I could be
Lara Croft, thank you.
any
very
of the
much.
other guys that she kills in the game.
Can we be like Nathan Drake and Lara Croft?
Yeah. Oh, can we make a crossover?
Okay, I'll accept
There are
that.
no rules.
I'll accept that. I'll
You're
accept
Laura
that.
Croft and I'm Nathan Drake.
I love it.
I get a little desert handkerchief in the holster, and I'm really quippy and funny. And then we step on Toadstool.
Yeah.
Oh no! That's my friend! Okay. It's my terrible Italian. Roger Craig Smith, who does Ezio in Assassin's Creed, has the funniest Italian voice you will ever hear in the world.
He was on the stage last year here, this exact same stage, doing his voice.
So funny.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he was busting all the voices out. He's Sonic,
Nice.
he's Chris Redfield.
He's too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do Sonic Boom together. He plays Sonic and I play Knuckles, and the only job we have is to not laugh out loud and ruin a take with each other. It's impossible.
Yeah, literally the session between we had Troy and Roger on here, every 2 seconds it just broke out into
Oh, yeah.
laughter, going off on tangents. It was great. Let's talk lines then. Let's go through. You must have a favourite line.
Oh man. We definitely have ones that we do a lot of.
You have more that you do a lot of.
Do you have a favorite, though? I mean, those are fans' favorites. What about something that you've said you're like, oh, that's really poignant or hilarious, amazing, incredible?
Laura does my dogs line really well.
Oh, yeah. Who's seen Full Metal Alchemist here?
It's a lot of people.
That day, all female officers will be required to wear tiny miniskirts.
That was terrible.
Well, I remember it because you said it 100 times in front of me.
What about if I said, I love dogs? No?
No.
What's a shit chat line? Tummy clock says.
Says it's 3.
3! Farty poop fart. Favorite line? Do you have one?
No.
No.
No, I know. Not that I
weird.
can think of. I have favorite scenes.
Okay, favorite scene then?
Resident Evil 6. Did anybody play that? The scene when her sister is getting, I played Helena in that, when her sister's getting taken away and she's like sobbing and like saying no, that was freaking amazing to get to do.
That's true. I always say that Oron High School Host Club has some of my favorite lines because there were like 20 in the entire series. All I ever said was, fancy tuna. Maury likes seashells. No cake. Never said anything.
Like all the lines in
That
the
was
show.
it. That was the whole show. I told the director if she just recorded me saying like 60 different ways, I'd be done.
What about weirdest lines? You must have had some really weird lines.
Oh man. There was chanting in this one show called Ghost Hunt, where it was like he was some kind of spiritual Buddhist monk demon hunter thing, and so he had to chant every time he powered up. And I'm like, surely these aren't words that I'm going to say. It was like, Badaradan Khan, Momalala Badadida, and I don't even know. Like, it had to be written out, and I just blew it every time. It was terrible.
Oh man, did you guys see Shin-Chan? There's a lot of really terrible lines in Shin-Chan.
Oh man. If you haven't
is
seen
it?
Shin-Chan, it's a Japanese kid show that got turned into a very adult comedy show
Well,
in
it's like
America.
The Simpsons in Japan.
Yeah.
That got turned into an Adult Swim, like a very adult show in America, and here apparently. Hey.
Is it fun working with terrible scripts that you read and you're like, I can't believe I've got to say this out loud? Oh.
That show, I just left my shame at the door because I knew I was going to be
I
saying,
wasn't insinuating that was a terrible script. I just meant I was going on a tangent from there.
It is sometimes because we work on Bleach and we work on Naruto, and the characters in those shows say some pretty weird stuff. There was a character called Charlotte Kuhlhorn that was a giant, muscly man that wore women's clothes and had long hair and high heels. That's always a trip.
there a lot of times as a female in video games, you don't always get to play the awesome characters like Blood Rain or Fetch. Sometimes you're just random chick, which and a lot of times ends up being random woman of the night, because in a lot of video games you end up running across,
Woman of the night.
Yes.
Lady of ill repute.
Yes, and man, it was such a kick in the butt when the day that First Light came out, and I was like, yes, women in gaming, man, we're coming up. Such a cool character. And I had a session that day for a game that I can't mention yet, and I was a prostitute, and all I had to do in it was like a 30-minute session of making moaning noises, and I was like, well, they're bringing it back down. Okay, cool.
Right, I'm going to venture into the crowd and we're going to take some
Awesome.
questions.
Please.
Raise your hands if you have a question. I'll make my way to you.
Don't be
I'll
shy.
go here first, nice and close.
Yes, for Laura, wanted to know, how did you enjoy doing... sorry.
Rephrasing.
Our brain doesn't work
Days,
either.
isn't it? What was your experience doing Saints Row, and did you enjoy singing Bismarcky?
Oh my gosh,
Great question.
I love working on Saints Row. I was so sad. We found out Steve Jaros, the creative director, he ended up leaving Volition. He's now at Valve. So I don't know what's going to happen with the franchise, but man, he's just so brilliant, and recording that game is so weird, and just a blast. And it's become a tradition in the games to sing in the car and singing Biz Markie, which is crazy. When I'm actually driving and Biz Markie comes on the radio, it's this weird parallel universe thing happening, and it creeps me out. But no, I loved it. I loved
Oh,
it.
baby,
You sing as Shin?
No, that was my voice. I have a terrible singing voice.
Do we have hands? Let's go here.
But singing Opposites Attract, that one was really hard because the range is really strange, and my voice is pretty low in that, and she sings pretty high in the song,
Paula?
so I was like, yeah, Troy just wanted to punch people when he had to sing that song because it was so difficult.
Right.
Sorry.
I've got a request for Travis. Can you do one of Azir's lines from League of Legends?
Oh, one of Azir's lines. One of the emperors of the sand. I am a giant pigeon. Fear me while I walk. That was actually one of the funnier lines. They showed me this animation where he starts walking around like a pigeon. I'm like, that needs to be the new League of Legends champion right there.
Marvelous.
I can't remember what the name of the land is, but yes, he talks like this.
Here we go.
This is a question to both of you, actually. You were saying that for cartoons, you sometimes do radio play style table reads. Do you have a favorite other actor to work with?
Ooh, we got several favorite actors to work
Yeah,
with.
you go first.
I would
Outside of each other, that's lame.
and we can't mention Troy because he's actually our friend.
Right.
Troy Baker is like one of our best friends in the world. I would say Fred Tatasciore is fantastic. He plays the voice of the Hulk, or Roger Craig Smith,
Yeah, man.
because they're so quick. They're really good improv people. So anything you come up with, they bounce it off. They bounce it back really fast.
I love being in a room with D. Bradley Baker because
better
watching
answer.
him come up with the freaking noises that he does is just insane. It's the craziest experience. And he's standing next to me during Lego Batman, and I was just blown away at what he can do, moving his cheeks and his nose, and I don't even know. It's
Yeah, he plays his sinuses. He'll push in on his sinuses to make certain sounds.
crazy alien noises. It's amazing.
Brilliant.
What kind of voice is your favorite? Like gruffy or maybe a bit more squeaky and things like that?
What kind of voice? What?
What kind of voice is your favorite?
What kind of voice is our favorite voice?
Yeah, gruff,
Oh.
whether squeaky, whether passionate, whether
Uh,
dopey.
I tend to like the lower things, like the boss in Saints Row, those kind of voices. Like I said, Commander Shepard. I just love her voice so much that anytime I get to do something like that is and it's the least stressful on your voice. Little boys tend to hurt a lot when you're voicing them because they're usually right around here, and you're putting it in a really raspy place in your throat, and it just kind of tears it up, you know. So
It sucks.
yeah.
I play Gazlo in World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm, and
He kind of talks like this. He's kind of got this East Coast thing going on, which kind of sounds like Moe's from The Simpsons, but for some reason they really think it's funny. And I'm not even from the East Coast, but this is just a voice that I kind of enjoy doing, and they let me go off and say really stupid crap all the time.
so that's kind of fun.
Brilliant.
Hello. How has video game acting kind of developed while you've been working in the industry? Because I know it's become such a huge, industry quite recently. But how has it changed for you as you've been working?
The biggest change is the switch over to motion capture, I feel, which so many new games are integrating. Almost everything we're working on now is starting as a mocap project. So you get to be so much more involved in the character right from the beginning. When you're just voice acting, a lot of the times you come in after the game's already been made and you're just filling in the pieces. But when you're motion captioning, you're starting so early and you're getting to shape the scenes together, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I worked on Halo 4 last year, and they're like, okay, you're going to be a Spartan. And I'm like, what? I'm gonna be like a Spartan, like Master Chief Spartan, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna be 7 feet tall, and you're gonna have a big suit of armor, and as soon as you walk into the volume, which is this big square that has like 293 motion capture cameras around it, you see yourself walk in on this display, and you see yourself in armor with the helmet and everything, and you're like making yourself do the worm and the Roger Rabbit and doing all these running moves.
It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Brilliant.
This is a question for Laura. What was it like playing Kaine from Nia?
Oh man, what a cool character, right? When I got cast as that, I didn't know her whole story. And it kind of got unveiled to me as we progressed through the game. And just seeing her image when I got cast, I was like, what is going on with her? And yeah, it was amazing. That whole rant that opens the game was actually not intended to be the opening part of the game. We recorded it and they loved it so much that they ended up just opening the game with it. And we did it in one take. It was just a fun thing to get to do, and it was awesome.
Brilliant. Over here now.
Question for Travis. What was it like voicing Relius in Blaze Blue?
Voicing Relius?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. It's kind of a bit more of a jerk than I expected, which is a lot of fun. You know, playing good virtuous characters is one thing, but anytime you get to play somebody that's a little bit arrogant, a little bit of a bastard, that's a lot of fun. Villains are obviously the most fun to play because everybody loves being the bad guy.
Just sometimes they don't stick around as long.
Yeah, when there's no consequences. And you're going to die. Let's be honest. You're probably going to die.
Okay, we're over here now.
Hi, I love both of your work, and this is a request for Laura. I was wondering if you could do an Omo Chow line from Sonic Adventure 2, the Welcome to Chow World.
Yes, I can.
Hi, Oma Chow here. Welcome to Chow World. Did that work?
Wow, that's really
a round of applause, right? That's pretty good. There we go.
That was good.
This is a
Pikachu.
This is a question for Laura. Could you do the voice of Toru from Fruits Basket?
Did I do Toru in Fruits Basket?
Yeah.
Of course I did Toru in Fruits Basket.
Nope.
Could I? Oh, right. Do the voice. Oh gosh, I gotta remember some lines. That was a long time ago. Hold on.
You can make some up.
Like my motto says, never give up. Did that work? All
There you
right.
go. Let's have a clap as well, right? There you go.
This is one for Laura.
Yes.
What was it like playing Sarah Farron in Final Fantasy 13?
It was great. We kind of touched on that a little earlier. I'm a huge fan of the Final Fantasy franchise, so playing Sarah was a bit of a dream come true for me because that was one of my goals when I first started voice acting. I was like, oh man, I want to get to be in a Final Fantasy game so bad, and so when it happened, it was really awesome.
Brilliant. Last question. Make it good. Come on, no pressure.
Question. I know as voice actors you're quite a knit bunch. Are there any roles that you've auditioned for and then you haven't got and you wish that they hadn't got it and you had?
Oh, that happens a lot. Yeah, we get to audition for some really incredible projects that happen almost every day of the week. We see things come through and we're like, oh my gosh,
this is amazing.
I want to be in that so bad. And we very rarely get, otherwise we would be in every
really, you
single
audition
thing.
for like maybe 5 things a day. So there's a lot of things that you're not gonna get. There's always characters that, and then when they come out and you're like, oh, it sounds so good. That's why I didn't get it.
As long as it sounds good when it's done and you can you're like, okay, I can still play that. But if it sounds bad, then we're bitter. But that rarely happens.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Can I get a huge round of applause for Laura and Travis? Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back in 5 minutes with, I want to say, Mike Bithell. Is Mike Bithell? Mike Bithell, yeah, show enough volume, so please do stick around. Travis and Laura will be on the main stage tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
I want to
At
say
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
For Lego Batman 3.
Yes.
Yes, for Lego Batman 3, so head on over there. And we're doing Lego Batman 3 stuff here tomorrow morning. We've got some really cool stuff to give away. Like this massive Lego Batman. That's amazing.
Yes.
It's worth thousands. Yes, we're giving it away. So do come back and do stick around for the next session. We're giving prizes out of 3 for Geometry Wars 3, and we're showing off Resident Evil Revelations 2 at 4 p.m. Thank you very much, folks.